Welcome to Cancer Out Loud, CancerCare's podcast. My name is Laurie Feingold, and I am here with Tonya Potts, who runs our wig and prosthesis program. Today, we're going to be talking about cancer and body image and the impact of a cancer diagnosis on someone's body image and how we can help people feel like themselves when they have treatment or diagnosis that affects how they look and how they feel. So Tonya Potts has been with CancerCare for several years and has been working in the wig and prosthesis program for about 10 years. And so welcome to the podcast, Tonya. One of the things that we wanted to talk about is body image and how cancer affects that, because we know that our physical appearance is a big part of how we identify ourselves. And so can you talk a little bit about the common body image issues that come up with the cancer diagnosis, Tonya?
Sure. I've been working with women. As you know, we do serve women who have lost their hair to cancer, and that is really an emotional part to not only their treatment but to their body. So we at Cancer Care, we aim to empower women to feel their best and look their best during treatment and beyond, to cope with dignity and confidence. They feel like they have a sense of confidence restored and dignity. They feel uncomfortable with their hair. You know, women's hair is their most pride, and the most part that I hear and I see is the hair loss, and their hair loss is more focused on as opposed to their treatment.
One of the things that I hear surprisingly is a lot of women are more fearful of losing their hair than actually going through treatment, which can be surprising for many people. It can be a source of real trauma for people. So tell me a little bit about what women tell you or people in general tell you about their hair loss, and then what your experience is in supporting them with our wig program.
They focus more on the doctor saying, you're going to lose your hair because of the treatment. They can't seem to focus on the treatment, the plan of the treatment, because their focus is so more on losing their hair, losing their self-esteem. And also, not only that, the financial burden of trying to find a wig. Wigs are very expensive, for wigs to look nice. Nice wigs, they are very expensive. So not only do they focus on the losing of their hair, but they focus on the burden of financial burden of trying to find a wig. So this is what we do at Cancer Care. We ease the financial burden of them trying to look for a wig, and we associate with the stress of the parents related to the side effects. The patients, this allows the patients to better engage with social activities. They feel more free going out. They more positive quality of life, supporting their overall well-being. A wig can help patients feel more comfortable and more like themselves, combating the emotional distress of hair loss.
So when you talk about the emotional distress of hair loss, what do some of your clients tell you when they come in?
I don't feel like myself. I don't wanna look in the mirror. I don't wanna engage socially. I don't wanna go back to work. I don't wanna be around my family. I just don't want to be myself.
And do you find that when women come in for wigs, do they have are they very particular about what they want? Tell me a little bit about how the process is.
Sure. When clients come in, of course, they're looking for themselves. They want who they are, what their hair actually look like. 9 out of 10, they show me pictures of this is what I look like and this is what I'm looking for. So we do try our best to accommodate them as much as possible. However, during the process, we may not find exactly who they are and what their hair look like. So we do try to move them in the area where they can feel more confident to explore and look different, where at the same time looking like themselves.
It must be very rewarding for you to help these women. Tell me a little bit about when you find a wig for them. Um, How do they feel? How do they react? What's your experience with that?
They feel relieved. They feel like themselves. They feel sense of self-confidence. They feel like they can go and conquer the world, and they feel like now I can take this off of my plate and I can focus on my treatment as opposed to focus on how I look and what people are going to say about me and the difference and when I was and when I didn't have my hair. So they feel like their confidence is restored and they leave with some type of dignity.
You find when women come in, do they feel self-conscious? Even if they, wear scarves or have, uh, hats or things like that?
Yes, they do feel self-conscious. They're concerned about the social of them not people knowing that they lost their hair, and not only losing their hair, but people identifying that they have cancer. And most of the time, losing of the hair is a sign that they have cancer. A lot of them are not comfortable with the outside world knowing that they have cancer, so the hair loss is part of a look that identifies you are a cancer patient.
That's a really important point, is a lot of people, when they have a cancer diagnosis, some people are very open about it, but a lot of it's a health issue, and a lot of people keep health issues to themselves. So,
Yeah.
it's something that I think helps people, like you say, feel like themselves and have a sense of control. Because we know a lot about a cancer diagnosis. One of the major issues is control. Something's happening in your body that, you can't control, but you can control how you look, and you even can't control the hair loss. Um, so that is, you think you make a really, really good point about, how complicated this issue can be. It's not just, okay, I'm going to wear a wig so people don't I have hair loss is a lot related to that. There's a big emotional impact. It's how people present themselves to the world and what they want or don't want people to know. First of all, how did you get interested in this work?
I myself was diagnosed with cancer. It was starting in stage 1 and it was aggressive. So I lost my hair and I never thought that I would ever wear a wig. Ever, ever, ever. I was one of those that said I would never wear a wig. Unfortunately, the path crossed where I had to wear a wig. And unfortunately, it when you're wearing a wig yourself, does not look good with the wig, if that makes sense. So I try to move away from myself and wear different colors, wear black, wear brown. So I found that it was difficult with not only the diagnosis, but even finding yourself with wearing a wig. So when I was approached with helping with the wig clinic, I was so excited because I had first experience in knowing it's not just wearing a wig, it's trying to get yourself comfortable with not actually finding who you are, like you're brown, you're black, sometimes you have to move away from that in order to try to look like yourself again.
Okay.
It's not that easy. It's not that easy, because the wig is honestly is not you. Honestly, a wig is different. It's not your strain of hair. It's not your hair. It's not straight. Sometimes you can't find a straight hair that look like you. So that is a task in itself, trying to move away from who you are with actually trying to be who you are.
You make a really interesting point. I think for people who haven't got through this experience, they think, okay, well, it's a wig, it's a long brown wig, and that's what you had. And even if it looks similar or you get it styled, you may not feel like it's you.
Mhm. Mhm.
Because to your point, it isn't the right texture. The color may be slightly off, things like that. So you really bring a unique perspective to this work because you've been there. You understand what your clients are going through and some of the challenges that they have with finding a wig. Do you share with your clients your experience?
Yes, most definitely. And I I also share with them that, not only finding a wig, but being comfortable with wearing a wig is really challenging. You can always find a wig that looks nice and look like you, but then the other part to that, the second step to that is feeling comfortable with wearing that wig. And it takes time with wearing the wig. So I share with them that, you have to give yourself time. You have to be easy on your eye. It's just like going to get your hair colored and you get a different color, and at the beginning it looks different, doesn't look nice to you, but others say, "Oh, that's beautiful." So you have to, once you're starting to wear the wig, you have to go easy on your eye, easy on yourself, and give yourself time to be used to wearing a wig. And I share that experience where I had to give myself time with even knowing that, even if others didn't know that I wore a wig, I knew that I wore a wig. And that to me was very emotional. A lot of times people, oh, I didn't know that was a wig. I share with them when I fit them, I say to them, if I see you in the street, I wouldn't know that there is a wig. But because you know it's a wig, it's very emotional to you. So you have to give yourself time with being used to wearing a wig. And I did. I gave myself time to wearing a wig.
Right. And do you find that, when you have those conversations with clients, how helpful it is for them?
Definitely, definitely. It calms their emotional stress, and it calms their uncomfortability of knowing that they're wearing a wig, because 9 out of 10 times when I tell them that I have a wig on, they're like, "What? I didn't even know that was a wig. I did not know that was." I said, "See, same with you. You can have the same experience." And that's really helpful. It does help. I find it does help.
You're reminding me of a lot of people when they go to their hairstylists. They tell their hairstylist their problems, and they're kind of a sounding board for them, and the stylist gives them advice. And it sounds like you serve the same purpose, being a good listener, providing guidance, particularly in an area where you have a lot of expertise. Do you find that that's the case?
Yeah, most definitely. And it's not only helping them being prepared or getting comfortable with wearing a wig is so rewarding to see. Once they find a wig that they didn't know that they would look nice in, they become tears of joy. They become really joyful and really tearful, not because they're wearing a wig, but they're so excited and so happy that they could go out into the world and they could be social again. They can go to work. They can be with their family members that they don't want to know that they have cancer. So yeah, it's very rewarding and it's very helpful sharing my experience. It really helps the client in the process.
I know you also do wig clinics. We have individual wig appointments at our three offices. But you also do wig clinics, which I know is a little bit of a different experience. Can you talk a little bit about that and um, what your experience is around that?
Yes, we go to different hospitals where we serve clients there with the wig clinics. They are scheduled as they do in our offices, our Long Island, New Jersey offices. That is more it's a different experience. It is during their treatment, as opposed to the in office is just random, it's just scheduled time. But we are going actually into the clinics where clients are there doing treatment or during their time of treatment. And of course, the treatment is very emotional as it is. And then being able to find a wig during your treatment time is so exciting and so encouraging to them, and it just put a smile on not only our faces but the client faces as well. It's you can't explain the rewarding feeling. There's no word that I can explain doing those clinics, like actually going to the clinic with the client having their treatment.
It sounds like, you know, uh, aside from just helping them get a wig, you're bringing them joy. You're helping them in a very, difficult, challenging situation where you're in, you're getting treatment, you're in the infusion room and you're there for several hours. They get to come to you and feel like they're just going to their stylists and they're getting something to make them feel beautiful. Because one of the things we know when you have, when you're undergoing cancer treatment, and particularly of hair loss, it's hard for a lot of people to feel attractive.
And then what in that setting, they actually wanna wear the wig out. So most of the times when they're in the clinic in the offices, they take the wig with them. As opposed to going to the clinic, they actually wear the wig back to their treatment. And as they're approaching going back to their treatment, we hear, "Oh my, you look so beautiful. Who is that? I didn't recognize you. You look so gorgeous." That is just so rewarding and so exciting. And it boosts, because they're looking for someone to compliment them, even though they may not say it, that those compliments really help boost them into being comfortable with wearing a wig that they're not used to wearing.
Right. Well, like you said, so much of the cancer experience is foreign to people and they don't feel like themselves, which is, sometimes difficult to explain. But if you tell someone, "Oh, are you feeling like yourself again?" They can
Mhm.
say yes. They know what it means.
So that's a good point that you're saying. At these clinics, most of the time, they say, "I feel like myself." They literally say, you get to hear them say, "I feel like myself again. I feel like a whole new person." That is just so the feeling of hearing that is just so unexplainable. I feel someone who comes in with their head hanging down and go out with their head up and proud of who they are and what they're going through. So now they can go and they can conquer the treatment. They can go and, deal with this is something that we could take off their plate. This is something, that they can go feeling good, looking not looking like they are a cancer patient. Nobody wants to look what you're going through. And unfortunately, cancer is a disease with women who lose their hair. They look like they are a cancer patient.
And like you said, cancer is an expensive disease and getting a wig is very expensive. And when you have medical bills to pay and people may, have to stop working and then they have household bills to pay and things like that, to be able to come to them, literally come to them through the clinics and give them a present. That's really what it is. It's a free wig, but it's really a present and it's much more than handing over a wig.
Yeah, and it's not and to add to what you're saying, it helps with the transportation barrier. A lot of clients can't get to us. That's one. Two, their schedule is so busy with their treatments, they don't even have time to put in their schedule to come be fitted for a wig. So it's very, like you said, it's a gift to be able to go to the hospital while they're having a treatment where they don't have to um, put time in or try to figure out what time. A lot of them say, "Well, I would love a wig, but I just don't have time. I have treatment. My treatment, the doctor's appointment is just overwhelming, and I just can't come to you." So we say we could come to you.
Yeah, and that's a wonderful service that Cancer Care offers. I want to just switch uh, topics a little bit because hair loss isn't the only physical side effect of treatment, particularly for breast cancer. We know so many people with breast cancer experience hair loss, but there's a lot of people who also have mastectomies,
Yes.
and that is a trauma in and of itself. So tell me, we do offer some free prostheses. So tell me a little bit about your experience with the prosthesis program. What are the concerns? What do women tell you when they come in for an appointment?
When they come in for the breast prosthesis clinic, they don't feel like themselves. They feel half of themselves. Those who've had a bilateral, they feel lopsided. Those who had one breast mastectomy, they say the same thing. They just don't feel like themselves. I have a lot of clients who can't afford the prosthesis. The prostheses are very expensive, so I feel that they walk around. Oh, I know that they walk around with socks. They walk around with paddings. They walk around with napkins. They walk around whatever they can to make themselves feel. comfortable and feel like they're even-sided. And they come in saying, I feel like myself. I can go with my chest." It's as opposed to the wig clinic with their head hanging. They come in with their head, they go with their head out. With the breast, they come in with their chest down, and they go with their chest standing out now. And that's really a beautiful, beautiful experience.
Yeah, it sounds like they're proud again of their bodies. What are some of the challenges that women talk to you about when, aside from just, you know, feeling like lopsided or flat chested? What are some of the challenges emotionally with having a mastectomy that they may express to you?
They don't feel like a lot of them don't even want to see themselves. They can't look at themselves in the mirror. I had clients who never even they run by a mirror. They don't even go by a mirror because they can't see themselves. They don't want to look at themselves. So when they come in with the fitting, if there's a mirror, I have to actually close the mirror off to fit them. And once I fit them and show them in the mirror, they's like, "Oh, I can look myself in the mirror again. Oh, wow." And they don't want to get away from the mirror. Unfortunately, we have another client, but they're like, "I can't get out." It's like a kid that wants to stay in the mirror. So they say, "Oh, I just love this. I look beautiful. You guys don't know what you have done." And I've never even known. I found that some clients don't even know that there's a such thing as a prosthesis. They don't even they walk around, like I said, with other material to make them look like themselves. So the challenge is not knowing there's a such thing as a prosthesis and not wanting to look at themselves. They can't even look at themselves in the mirror because they can't even accept the fact that they don't have a breast or any breast anymore.
Are women ever concerned about wearing the prostheses?
No, not from my experience. The only concern I think they may have is uh, the material of the prosthesis. The material sometimes we are fortunate at CancerCare, we have prosthetic bras where it's inserted inside of the bra as opposed to skin on skin because they feel like they might be allergic to it, they might break out, perspiration, things of that sort. We are fortunate to serve them with prosthetic bras where they don't have to worry about that, don't have to be concerned about that skin irritation or it falling out inside the bra and maybe they, do a lot of exercise or moving around, the prosthesis might fall out and then that's an embarrassment. But we are fortunate, like I said, to have prosthetic bras, but that is something they don't have to be concerned about.
So, there actually are a lot of considerations when people are going through this, whether they have hair loss or they have a mastectomy and need a wig or prosthesis. I mean, like you said, there's just the whole, how am I looking to the outside? How am I feeling about myself? But there's also concerns about reactions to the materials. Is it gonna the comfort of learning how to wear a wig? I have to imagine that some people find them hot, particularly in
Yeah.
the summer, things like that. So uh, there's a lot more to, the whole issue around body image and making one feel comfortable through through a wig or through a prosthesis that aren't people don't think about. But you, with
Mhm.
your specific experience, can tell them about things. I know as a social worker, lots of times I'll talk to people and just helping educate them and understand what to expect and what it's going to be like and kind of what it means can be helpful. Do you have that experience as well?
Oh yes, definitely. Far as wearing the wigs, I try to educate them as far as the hotness in the summertime, or not only the hotness. Wearing a wig, your head is not used to it. It's like it's a foreign object. So when you put it on your head, the head is like, "What's going on here? What did you just put on my head?" So I try to educate them and let them know that that is a common normal reaction and You need to try to wear the wig as long as you can on your head, and that will help your head become more familiar to this foreign object. A lot of women, because of that, they just toss the wig off because it's just too hot. It's just the fiber is just too itchy. But yeah, we do share education, um, advice on the longer you wear the wig on your head in the beginning, your head will become more familiar and it will take away some of the itching and the perspiration.
And what about care for wigs? Our wigs are not necessarily human hair, so what advice do you give people for that? As far as styling, as far as keeping clean?
Well, styling with when synthetic wigs, we do sometimes have human hair wigs, but the synthetic wigs, they come styled. They already come as is. You don't have to do too much care to it. You just put it on, take it off, and the longer you wear it, it does become more natural to you. It will be it. You can train it to become as you would like it to lay, and then the caring for it is to wash it. It depends on you. It depends on your perspiration. It depends on how you wear it, how long you wear it. You may wear it once a week. You may wear it every day. So the care it depends on you're aware of it. If someone wears it every day, I recommend them to wash it maybe once a week. If you wear it once a week, then maybe every 2 weeks. It depends on you how you wear the wig and how long you wear the wig. And we do give them care instructions on that. And then we do recommend mild shampoo, which is I recommend baby shampoo. That is the mildest shampoo that I can think of because a lot of product does have chemicals in it. Even though it says it's mild, it does have chemicals in it. Baby shampoo has the less chemicals, so I do recommend dime baby shampoo in the palm of your hand and put it through the wig. And once you put it through the wig, you run the warm water and do not try to spring the wig. Just let it dry, air dry.
But, synthetic wigs, they can be styled, right? You can go to their hairstylist and they can be cut?
It depends on the synthetic wig. Most of them come styled.
Okay.
Some of them, you can style them. It depends on the synthetic wig. All synthetic wigs can be styled. All synthetic wigs, they don't recommend you putting any heating elements on it, or they don't even recommend you even trying to cut the wig. So it depends on the type of synthetic wig.
And as far as any guidance on people who have prostheses, how to care for them, are there things that they need to be aware of in adjusting to wearing a prosthesis?
With the prosthesis, the fact that we do have mastectomy bras, you just insert it inside of the bra. Sometimes if you may sweat and perspiration may come outside the bra. I recommend if that happens, you just the same thing, take a mild. I always recommend mild shampoo because people are in treatment and they're sensitive to or any other kind of chemicals. So I don't recommend any harsh chemical. So I recommend baby shampoo, same thing, wash it or a baby wipe. Just take it and wipe it, and that should keep it for a while.
Um, what are some of the surprising things you have learned in working with people who've experienced hair loss or mastectomy?
The surprising things that I've learned is adjusting to mainly women who are married and have a husband. The husband is not comfortable with them wearing a wig or with the hair loss of not supportive. That is really, to me, traumatizing. I've had even clients say with women who is married, spouse says, "Well, I don't want you anymore. I want 2 girlies. I don't want, any artificial things of that sort." So that is really, to me, it's heartbreaking to hear those stories. When that is your main support is your spouse. You're looking for your spouse to support you and understand what you're going through and support whatever decision you make. And then, I've heard clients say to me, my husband said, "Just cut it off. Just cut it off." Like, excuse me? It's not as easy as just getting my breast cut off. That is part of me. That's part of my body. I understand that I may have to do it. What I have to do. But I don't want to hear it that way. That's coming across kind of harsh to me. So yeah, we do hear those type of stories. That's really, really
So
upsetting.
what guidance would you have for people who may be watching this who have those thoughts? Who think, well, just cut it off, then you get rid of the cancer and it's done. But as you said, it's much more complex than that. So if you were heard that, what guidance would you give them?
Yeah, I try to refer them to cancer care social workers, where the social worker have more experience in that emotional support. From my point, I'll just advise them to be who you are. That's who you are. You have to be you, and I understand that advice from other people and support is helpful, but at the end of the day, it's all about you. It's all
Right.
about you. It's what you need and what you want and how you want to feel. It's about you. You are number one. Everybody else is number two. You are number one. And the first concern is you.
That makes me think about, we're talking about body image and what we can do for people to feel like themselves. There's so much more than their hair, or the size of their breasts. And to when you say you be you, you're number one, I think it's really important to reinforce that everybody is unique. And just because you have this diagnosis, it doesn't change who you are. It's not who you are. It's something that's going on, just like if somebody was diagnosed with diabetes or somebody has, some other, medical issue. It's just another part of what makes you you and the experience you've had. Because as you said, how someone thinks, how someone feels, and whatever they want to do is what's most important. Now, I was going to say, Cancer Care does offer free wigs and prostheses who are for people who are in the New York metropolitan area. However, we do have access to resources nationwide that
Yes.
can offer um, free wigs as well. And I want to make that point. With Breast Cancer Awareness Month, this is a very timely topic for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Can you share with us what Breast Cancer Awareness Month means to you?
It means to be aware, look at yourself, check yourself out. Um, Anything that's abnormal, please go to the doctor, get your monthly checkout. A lot of women can early detection is the best protection. I would say that. And a lot of times our bodies do give us signs. Sometimes the bodies don't give a sign, but most of the time our bodies do. Pay attention. Pay attention to what your body is saying and go get yourself checked out, even if your body is not saying anything routinely. Make sure you get that mammogram done. Make sure you go to the doctor and get your um, self checked out routinely, yearly, when you're supposed to. Don't push it off. It's self care. That is self care. That's like going to get your hair done. It's like going to get your nails done. You make sure you take care of yourself. That is priority. Don't put that aside. Don't push it aside. Go to the doctor routinely. Women that are over a certain age, even if you're underage and you feel something is going wrong or you feel uncomfortable, go to the doctor and get yourself checked.
That is a great message for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So thank you for reinforcing that. And is there anything else that you'd like to say to about this topic and what you've learned?
I just love what I do. I'm fortunate and I'm grateful for Cancer Care that allow me to serve women who have lost their hair to cancer and their breast to cancer. Cancer Care is a organization that we don't discriminate on how long you've got your breast mastectomy because a lot of women come to us, it's been 20 years they've been walking around. So I want to share with you that we are open to anyone and everyone who have lost their hair to cancer. We don't discriminate. If you're a woman that have lost your hair or lost your breast, we are here to serve you.
Thank you, Tanya. You've provided really great information. Thank you for sharing your personal story. As I said, that makes you uniquely qualified to do this work. And we appreciate you bringing joy to all the people you work with. Thank you very
Th-
much.
Thanks, Laurie. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thanks for tuning in to Cancer Out Loud, the CancerCare podcast. CancerCare is the leading national nonprofit organization providing free professional support services, including resource navigation, cancer-focused counseling, support groups, educational resources, and financial assistance to anyone affected by cancer. You can visit us online at cancercare.org or call our toll-free Hope line at 800-813-HOPE. That's 800-813-4673 to speak with a master's prepared oncology social worker.